Hi, welcome to Weekend Box Office Predictions and Movie Review. Today is Friday, July 1st, 2016. I am the Box Office Wizard and I am your host. Hey, for today's show I'm going to review 3 new movies and give you predictions on those as well as some holdovers. Also, lots of movie news about sequels and also an update on Captain America Civil War release date for Blu-ray. Hey, the predictions will be for the 4-day weekend. It is July 4th weekend, so happy Independence Day. And it's going to be a different kind of weekend. The 3 movies are going to potentially perform well, and there's also potential they may not. And also, we still have Finding Dory in the mix. So, will it be number 1 for the 3rd weekend in a row? First movie I'm going to review is The Legend of Tarzan, and it stars Alexander Skarsgård, if I'm saying that right, Rory Saper, Christopher Waltz, Samuel Jackson, and Margot Robbie. Jim Clayton is who he's playing, a.k.a. Tarzan, and he is living in London, has been there for several years, hasn't been out in the jungle. He's invited basically back to Congo to be an ambassador for some things that are going on and all that, and at the same time he's kind of getting set up, and lo and behold, there's some people that are after him and his family, and all great things and issues happen after that. And that's where the story takes place, where he's trying to fight for his family and for survival of the jungle, I guess you could say. So, hey, the reviews on this movie, though, are coming in so-so to not great. A lot of 4 and 5s out of 10. I haven't really seen many 7s and 8s at all. It is playing in 3,600 theaters this weekend at 1 hour and 49 minutes. I think this movie, though, it does look pretty good to me, though. It doesn't have a $180 million budget, so it's going to need a lot of help from the overseas market. I do think it's going to have a decent weekend, though, here. I'm going to put it in at $29.8 million for the 4-day weekend. Next is the movie The BFG, and this stars, it's voiced by Mark Rylance, Ruby Barnhill, and Penelope Wilson. BFG, the Big Friendly Giant, becomes friends with a girl named Sophie, and they just happen to run into one another, and she's at first scared of him, but she realizes that, hey, she's not going to be eaten by this giant, so he's not the typical giant. Well, later on, though, there are other giants that do discover that he has that tasty treat, which is Sophie, and they're trying to get her from him. So that's where the story goes from. It is animated, CGI, and so forth. Kind of reminded me of Hugo a lot. It is playing in about 3,300 theaters. The reviews on this movie are excellent. I think of the 3 releases, though, this weekend, that this is going to be the one that does not do as well as the others. It's playing just under 2 hours. I don't see this movie topping over $20 million. I'm going to put it in at $18.6 million for this coming weekend. It does have a big budget as well at $140 million, so it's going to need a lot of help from overseas, just as The Legend of Tarzan will. And last is The Purge 3, Election Year. This is the trilogy movie, if you want to call it that. It stars Frank Grillo, Elizabeth Mitchell, Macaulay Williamson, and Joseph Julian Soria. It's been 2 years, and Leo Barnes, played by Frank Grillo, is now the head of security for Elizabeth Mitchell's character, Charlie Roan, I think was what the name was. And she is a senator that's getting ready to run for president. And it is election year, obviously, and she's a big opponent against the Purge. In case you don't know what that is, it's 12 hours of fun and mayhem for all criminals, where they get to create chaos and everything else because there's no law, basically. So anything that is illegal, it becomes illegal. So, well, while they're out and about, there's a group of senators, other government officials, and all that want to make sure that she does not come back alive. So they kind of set her up, and it's Leo Barnes' job to save her throughout the night and try to make it to dawn. So that's what the movie's about. The original Purge debuted at $34 million. Purge 2 debuted at $30 million, just under that. And of course, they were different times of the year a little bit, but the reviews on this movie has been decent to great. Lots of 7s out of 10. It's playing in only 2,800 theaters, but it's still considered nationwide. 1 hour 45 minutes. I think this movie's going to do great this weekend. Definitely going to be the number 2 movie this weekend, and I'm going to give it a prediction of $34.25 million for the 4-day weekend. Holdovers, got Finding Dory. It's going to repeat again as number 1, and I'm going to give it a prediction of $48.8 million for this coming weekend. Next is Independence Day. With it being the 4th of July weekend with the name Independence Day, some would think it would give it a boost. I don't think it's going to help it at all this weekend. I think it's just going to reach over $20 million at $21.5 million for this coming weekend. Next is Central Intelligence, going to have another decent weekend of double digits at $12.4 million. Next is The Shallows. I'm going to see it have a great weekend again with excellent numbers at $8.8 million. Next is Free State of Jones. Unfortunately, going to have another disappointing weekend at just $4.8 million. Next is The Conjuring 2. I think it'll scare up another $4.7 million in its fourth weekend out. And last is Now You See Me Too. Should have enough left in it to get about $3.5 million. Hey, some movie news I mentioned earlier that I was going to reveal is a lot of sequel news here. First is Pacific Rim 2. It has been given a date set for February 23rd, 2018. Next is Wreck-It Ralph. There is a sequel in the works, and it has already got a date of March 9th, 2018. Next is Underworld Blood Wars. Our favorite vampire fighting the wolves and the death dealers, if you want to call them, and all that good stuff. It's been actually pushed back 3 months from October this year to January 6, 2017. So just a little bit of delay, but it still is on tap to be coming out at the beginning of the year. And then lastly is Annabelle 2. They're actually beginning the principal photography for this movie, and a release date of May 19, 2017 has been set. So looking forward to that sequel as well. Lastly, Captain America Civil War on Blu-ray. It does have a September scheduled date to come out. I haven't actually seen a firm date yet, but September is what it is believed to be coming out in. It's going to have a lot of features on it. They're going to have a making of Civil War Part 1 and 2 on it. There's going to be a segment on Captain America as well as a segment on Tony Stark. There's also supposed to be a Doctor Strange exclusive sneak peek on this Blu-ray disc. And as well as there's going to be audio commentary, bloopers or gag reel, and as well as a lot of deleted and extended scenes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those might be and what they actually left out on the movie. So, hey, that's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to leave some predictions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you don't already. And hey, I'll be back on Tuesday giving you predictions you can count on that are better than the weatherman. Take care.